All right, guys. So as you can see, big change to layout this time around. Let's get into it. All right. So as you saw from the intro there, a lot has changed. So stepping in and just starting right here, the first thing, the backdrop is back up on the front side. Uh, that is where track is going to punch through. That's about the area. We're gotta wait. I gotta wait till I get around to this side to actually figure out where that track is, and then we'll come back and we'll actually cut a hole in the hardboard. So that's in. Other thing, have done just a tiny hair bit of wire work. So the gray is a 12 volts over to the staging yard panel, which will run the Tauruses. And then you've got the red, which is going to be the district one for over there. Need to get me a spool of black, so that's on the list, but the reds run. And then this area right here is where I'm going to stick all the electrical stuff. So I'm going to put me some more 1x on both sides, here and here, and then face all off with plywood and put some shelves in. That's where I'll put my command station and everything. And of course, that means all the stuff on here will get moved and the electrical cabinet's going to get dismantled and the pieces will get reworked into what's going over here. So that's what's up with that. The benchwork construction just going to give you an idea how I'm doing this. And is you basically got a 2x4 on the center spline, you got a piece on top, you got a piece on the bottom, you got your H legs, and then on the sides, and I'll get to that little puppy in a minute, you've got the pieces coming out again on the top and on the bottom, and it is, well, do you put all screwed? Yeah, put all screwed on that side. It is screwed into the 2x4. So, but back and forth, you can see there's no wobble at all. There's a little bit on the side to side as far as the whole peninsula, but even that's not much. And keep in mind, all this framing, the support structure that's over here is going to get replicated over here. And then when I come back and do the modules, it's going to sit here and it'll get bolted through the H leg. It'll get screwed in on the back, screwed into that, screwed in on the back, bolted here, bolted, bolted, and bolted. So this whole thing is going to be very, very nice and very, very rigid. So that's that side just coming along over here. Again, the back side of the backdrop. There will be another piece on this side that's going to go over here. I've yet to cut that, so you'll be seeing backdrop here. And you've got a wall divider, and then I'll just face it off with another hardboard strip right here. So that's how the backdrop's going to go, and then to go along with that, this piece is back up, and then we finally got a 11-foot header up here. I thought it was 14 foot because there was some stuff over at Rich's that I thought was the right length. This was the longest thing he had, and I got two of them. Other one's sitting there, and it's going to go on the other wall when I get to that point. But it'll come over here, and then I just got to put like an 8-inch splicer plate behind that, and then their piece 1x out and over. So that backdrop's up. The one on the back will get up soon, hopefully. It's going to be interesting, because I think the plywood for the module, the Y module, actually slopes down a bit. So I'm going to have to cut a curve or something like that into that hardboard to get it to fit right. But we'll see when we get there. So that's been going on as we come along. this gives you an idea of basically what we're going to do. So these are all pieces 2x4 cut to length and then ripped in half. I got a bunch more of the pieces stacked right there. And this is going to run all the way down there on the back piece. And that is screwed in. I just got to take the clamp off. And then all the way up the front, up the side here, all the way around. I'll have another one right here. And this little module is going to sit there. And then, of course, the rest of that wall, all down that wall. And all on this side. The more pieces coming out, and then I'll have one on the end here. And then, yes, those of you who know how to tell level can tell it does need adjustment, but the gist of the idea is you get some 3/8 plywood or something up here, put a shelf, put like a 2 foot tall piece of hardboard or ply on the back as a backing board. And the end result is this is nice separate alcove. You got Logan here with the engine terminal down there and the yard. And then you've got a nice mountain ridge here with a tunnel. And then this side is just all scenery. So the town that's here is separated from the town that's here. And you don't have your engine in one town and Caboose in the other. And it just does a really good job at the filling of distance. So this time around, I'm paying almost as much attention to aesthetic and cosmetic bits as the ops. So that's pretty much what's going on there. Moving down, this is obviously going to get readjusted because you're basically going to have this and it's just going to come out completely straight. Get down here and then it'll loop around on the end. That does need to be trimmed to allow sufficient. If you have enough width, you can stand from shoulder to shoulder and still have room for a 13-inch depth over here. So you're not cramped, which is what I'm going for, trying to get plenty of people room on this layout. And this is just the rest of the framework, and you've got place for the totes under here. That's where they are going to go. Then you get over here. This is going to get built out for the whole engine terminal area, and it's going to have to get notched here to actually fit the turntable. So I'm going to have to come in with a jigsaw and cut it and have somebody else stand here holding the vacuum. But that's going in there. And then this has been unsorry because we're going to take that number 7 that I have left over and we're going to stick it right in here. So this will be your loop track / whatever operationally. I don't know what I'll make this. I might just make it another spur or something. You'll turn out here. The inner track of that number 7 is obviously a main line, which continues to the outer leg of the 6.5. This is going to become a supply track for the roundhouse. And then the outer track of the 7, which will go here, it's going to curve alongside this. And I know this is awfully tight clearance, but along here, and that'll be your switch lead. So that's what's going on with that. And of course, now looking at this, I realize that we might have to do a little more adjustment because of that width there. We'll figure it out. So anyways, that's what's going on there. Haven't run anything on here for a while. The UP5 is still plugged in. Did get a couple Tauruses put in, so there's one underneath here. And the wires for it are run over there to a terminal strip. And then if you come along, you've still got this, which hadn't changed. On this terminal strip, this actually was mounted. We had to move it out of the way to get that screw in there because the screw is on the wrong side. So I need to get that put back in. I need to get this put up. I'll get to it. But all 4 tracks of staging yard on this end are in. And this is ready for the Gap Master. Need to adjust the height on this to get it level again because it was. And then you're back here, and obviously you've got the backdrop. So as far as rolling stock real quick, and then I'll point out the turntable. As far as projects, not too much. Most of it's been locomotives. So on the, what's this off of? Oh yeah, GP7. So on the GP9 project, oh, where's that? Okay, no, excuse me. This is G38 frame. Going and getting the Evans Design Coast surface mount leads put on there, all 4 of them. Got them tied in. I need to go back and check them. One of them doesn't line up, and one of them's blue. And they're all supposed to be warm white, so I don't know what the deal is with that. Did the same thing to the GP9 frame. And then as far as the GP9 shell, we've got, I don't know if you can pick it up, but more of the, there's the wire for it. More of those surface mount leads glued in there. I've got it super glue on the side so everything's out of the way, but I'm kind of glued to the light bar in the back and then the front. So that one's done. And then as far as mine, something hasn't been an update in a while. I finally got, thank you, Kenny, a new motherboard for the Dash 9. So it is in. I've replaced the red and black pickup wires to the motherboard. I just need to get a decoder for it. And I've also gone, and that tape won't hold, but I've got surface mount 1.5 volt 402 LEDs hooked up to it. So that's all 4 of the trucks, all 4 of the truck lights wired in. So that's what's going on with that. The boxes in the corner there are part of a haul I made because I recently went up to the Bowling Green, Kentucky train show with a buddy of mine, and pretty much the whole Friday night crew at Nolan's was there, including Nolan himself. You'll see that eventually on the video. Those are just more ripped pieces waiting to go up there. And then this is also from the show, but I just wanted to put this now because this is too cool to pass up. So $20. The guy was tired of hauling it around. It is a, as you can tell, obviously it's on Walter's kit. This is a hand-built 135-foot turntable. So this will hold a big boy. Obviously it's way bigger than I was planning on, but $20, I'm not going to pass it up. I did look it over, so don't worry about it. I didn't just buy it sight unseen. I checked it over. This bridge track does come up, so I can swap it for code 70. And then another thing I'm going to do, you notice we got a little bit of a height discrepancy. But when I get to it, I'm going to put cork around here and fix that. And then I'm going to frame it all out, and this is going to be a drop-in. So it is powered through the pit rails, and it does roll. I'm trying to get this to where you can actually see. It's got little wheels to pick up the current, and then right, don't press on that, Jacob. You want to flip it right there and right there. The pit is gapped, so it is already in that respect DCC friendly. And if we flip this over, you can see it is completely hand built. You've got your 2 brass contacts to power the rails like that. And then the only other thing I got to discover is whether or not it picks up through both those wheels. If it picks up through one, then I don't need an auto reverse for this thing at all. All I need to do is just make sure the approach tracks come on one half, the roundhouse tracks are on the other, wire up the pit rails to match the approach tracks, and wire the roundhouse tracks opposite, and it'll just, well, it'll actually self-reverse. If just one of these wheels, if one of these wheels picks up on each end of the bridge and it stops it. So this one and this one, or this one and this one, if they do it like that. If it's both, which I'm kind of hoping it's not, but I'll have to look at it some more. If it's both, then I am probably going to need to put an auto reverser on there or mod it somehow. But my plan is to go ahead and motorize this. I don't want people. I mean, technically, you could do that with the old finger, but yeah, nah. I don't want doing that. So, as you saw, it does have a pretty good solid shaft. It could do with a little bit of a buffing, obviously. And, ooh, I didn't notice this before. There's tiny wood screws in there. Oh, nice. So I could do a little bit of a polishing, but it does punch through the nice hole in the middle there. And if I can get this back in there, I'll show you. Yeah, there you go. That locks in. I don't know how well you can see that. Okay. We'll just flip it on the side. So look at the bottom there. You can see the feeders for the pit rails. And you see the shaft sticks down a pretty good bit. It's... I just now noticed that somebody used old wood paneling upside down for the top, and then they've got a metal band going around. So I always take the weight, and it ain't coming apart anytime soon. But the shaft does come down, so if I want to, and I think I'm going to, I can go ahead and add a motor and some reduction gearing to give this a nice slow speed, and then hook a motor up to it and all that fun stuff. So, and then of course, obviously, we'll get refurbished and whatnot and everything else when I put it in. So, this is going to be modules. All the electronics, I'm going to, please don't slide off, stick them all down here. I'm not going to screw into the bottom of the turntable pit. I'm going to glue some more pieces of wood on the bottom of the turntable pit, and I'm going to screw into those pieces of wood, so not into the actual pit. But the electronics are going to be mounted there, and then I'll have terminal blocks or something. That way this will just be a drop-in unit in and of itself, and I can take it out if I ever need to service it or whatever. So, and then just looking at the inside, there's the inside band of the pit is metal too, so it needs a little bit of a touch-up with weathering, but that we'll come to it when I get to it. And then again, the track, I'm going to take this up. I'm probably going to put a few finishing touches on the deck, because honestly, I think this Code 100 just got put on here. I think I'm the third owner. I think there was somebody that originally had it, and they had something else, maybe hand-laid, and then somebody else got hold of this thing and slapped the Atlas Code 100 on there, and now I'm the third. So I'm going to take that off, and I'm just going to put Code 70 rail on there, because all the engine terminal track is going to be Code 70. So it'll get a lot fire rail and hopefully get looking a little bit better. But the gravel on the bottom is fine, and it's still solid. So if I do anything to that, probably just hit it with another soaking of scenic cement, and just to make sure it's cured. So that's pretty much it. Last thing before I go, I have started a Facebook page for the layout. It's called Hocking Valley Model Railroad in HO scale, it should be. So go check that out. This has a lot of in-progress photos. I'm posting stuff from photos of the work nights there. And just to cut to the chase as far as explanations, it's a lot easier to do that than edit a whole lot of time-lapse videos together. But with just time being a factor. So layout updates and whatnot will still be here, but the in-progress and the live streams, I'm moving over to there. So look it on up, give it a like, and stay tuned there for the in-between stuff, and then for the rail fanning, the full videos, keep up with the channel. So that's pretty much going to do it. Obviously, a lot has changed. Look for the video from the Bowling Green show and a couple others coming out soon. I got one coming of a compilation of live stream footage from from Tom's, and then I'm going off down in the works is footage from the Eagle Point, the other live stream I wrote. So, as always, comment, like, subscribe, hit that bell icon to get notified whenever I upload. Everybody take care, God bless, and yeah, I'll see you on the next lad update. Bye till then.